Week 11 of the NFL season is underway. Let's make our confidence picks right now. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watch2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So, Week 11 is now underway. As I am recording this, the Ravens and Bengals are playing right now. So, we are going to make our confidence picks for Week 11. If you're brand new, what that means is we don't pick against the spread. We pick winners. And we rank every game this week. There are 14 games, so we're going to rank them from 14, the game we have the most confidence in, down to 1, the game we have the least confidence in. But let's take a quick look back at Week 10, and it was a good week. Went 10-4, 73 points. For the season, we have a record of 90 wins, 60 losses, so that means we've correctly predicted 60% of the games. Now, we have a total of 806 points for the season, but here's what I'm excited about. We went up 6.4 percentage points. We are now just hovering below the 90 percentile, and that's a pretty big deal because last year we finished in the 95 percentile. I wanted to get over the 85% mark. We did that, and we are very close to 90% as well. So let's have another big week, and you know what? As I look at the schedule, I think just like a lot of football fans out there are some games that look like givens, and there are some that are really, really tough to call. All right, so let's start with number 14. The game that I have the most confidence in, well, you could go a number of ways here. There's certain interdivision showdowns. You've got the very, very good teams against teams playing for maybe the number 1 overall seed. But my pick is the San Francisco 49ers at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yikes. This is going to be a long trip for the Bucs. They're coming off a team that blew out the Jaguars in very impressive fashion. Tampa Bay has a very lackluster offense. They don't run the ball well, and they're taking on a very good 49ers defense that's even better with Chase Young. Give me San Francisco, best bet. And then with the number 13 game, we've got the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Dear God, have mercy. This is part 2 in the cupcake schedule for Dallas. They embarrassed the Giants by 32 points. Now they take their show on the road to the Queen City. Count on more of the same carnage. Dallas is averaging 33.7 points per game against opponents who have a losing record this season. I think Tony Pollard has a big day on the ground. As for Bryce Young, who, by the way, has a lower QBR than Zach Wilson does, he's now going against Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and the like. Pray for the kid. Cowboys. Number 12 is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. The Fins are coming off their bye, and they're at home where they play much, much better. Also, Devon Achane is supposed to be coming back in the running back role. That adds a whole lot of speed to the Miami offense. And the Raiders finally get to face legitimate competition under Antonio Pierce's coach. I think maybe they hang around for a little bit. Maybe Miami starts out a little rusty. But when Miami wants to score, they will. I see them winning this game by maybe 14 or so, 13, 14 points. Let's go to number 11, the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. We got an NFC North showdown. Lions coming off a great 41-38 win on the road over the Chargers. Now, Justin Fields will play quarterback for the Bears. He is returning from his thumb injury. It don't matter. Detroit had a bad week on defense versus the Chargers. Now they're going to look to make a statement at home against the Bears. By the way, the Bears are allowing over 298 yards per game on the road this season. So give me the Lions, number 11. Number 10 will be the New York Giants at the Washington Commandskins. I'm taking Washington, and I did not think I'd be picking Washington in too many games the rest of the season after the trade deadline, after they unloaded their 2 top pass rushers. But this is the New York Football Giants we're talking about here. The same Giants that beat Washington earlier this season. That was with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. Now enter touchdown Tommy DeVito, who's 29 of 47 for 261 yards total and has been sacked 11 times in the last 2 weeks. Okay, and after starting 2-0, Washington has dropped 6 of 8, but I think being at home against the Giants, who just look completely demoralized ever since they lost that game to the Jets. I think this is as good a spot to pick Washington as you'll ever have. So I'm going to take Washington 10th. All right, number 9 in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, don't forget, the Jaguars had won 5 in a row before the bye and then getting smashed by San Francisco. The thing with the Titans is they're playing their 3rd consecutive road game. Always a difficult spot. And those first 2 road games, they scored a combined 22 points. So after his very impressive debut, their quarterback, Will Levis, he's not doing too good. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 52% completion percentage in losses to Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. So look for the Jaguars defense to make life very painful for Mr. Levis on Sunday. Also, Tennessee 0-6 away from Nashville. My only hesitation with this, why I didn't rate this a little bit higher, Jacksonville's taking on Houston next week. Could this be a trap game? I'm still going with the Jaguars. All right, number 8, the Minnesota Vikings at the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football. On the surface, not a very appealing matchup, but let's look a little closer. We got 2 hot teams here. You got the Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs on Sunday Night Football, but Minnesota's won 5 in a row. Denver has won 3 in a row. And you know what? Minnesota is squarely in the NFC playoff race. Denver is trying to fool themselves to believing that they're in the AFC playoff race. Don't count on it, but hey, they win 5 of their next 6 games. Maybe they got a shot. But the thing with Denver, I don't like their defense. They are surrendering the most points per game, the most rushing yards per game, and the most total yards per game heading into Week 11. Yuck. Give me the Vikings on the road. Sunday Night Football in the Mile High City. My number 7 game will be the San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles at the Green Bay Packers. So, how's Jordan Love doing? You know, all those arrogant Packers fans who are knocking the Jets, who thought Aaron Rodgers would be replaceable, he'd throw for 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards, some people said. Jordan Love is tied for the 2nd most interceptions in the NFL, only behind Josh Allen. And 8 of those 10 interceptions have happened in the second half. Now, even though the weakness of the Chargers is their pass defense, Jordan Love to me is just so unreliable. I don't think he'd be able to hurt them consistently over 4 quarters. So give me the Chargers on the road. All right, number 6, the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Well, I'm taking Buffalo in this game. The Bills have their new offensive coordinator in Joe Brady. Sadly, the Jets have the same one. Hey, maybe the Jets can hire Ken Dorsey, recently fired Ken Dorsey as a consultant for this game, right? Maybe just a 1-week deal, like a lot of teams bring these players in for a week and then they kick them to the curb. Maybe the Jets could do that with Dorsey, but it's the 2nd straight week the Jets are facing an offensive coordinator coaching his first game. So maybe not a great omen, but I expect the Bills to get back to basics. Aggressive Josh Allen, throwing downfield, running the ball when necessary, which the Bills really tried to dissuade him from doing. And the bottom line is, with this Jets offense, I cannot trust them until they actually show me that they deserve my trust. No touchdowns in their last 36 drives or in their last 11 quarters. I just can't pick the Jets on the road in this game. If the offense shows out, if the offense has a good day, if they cut out the penalties, or at least I'd say +2 in turnover differential, they got a shot. But you play this game 10 times, I think the Bills win probably 7 times. So I'm taking Buffalo with my number 6. Number 5, the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. It is Stroud versus Murray. Very exciting quarterback matchup. I'm going with Houston, but I think Arizona stays in it. See, this is one of those games, okay? I can feel an upset. So what happens is I put a low number on the game, I pick the favorite team, then the upset happens, and I wonder why I didn't actually do it. It's happened numerous times this year, but Houston, just a better all-around team, much better defense, and much better head coach in my mind. So give me Houston at home. Number 4 is the Thursday night game, the Bengals at the Ravens. Oh, so good. Both these teams coming off rough AFC losses. On one hand, you've got the Bengals, who decided not to show up for the first 3 quarters against Houston, but then somehow almost won the game. And then you got Baltimore losing to Cleveland despite breaking Deshaun Watson's shoulder and eliminating him for the season. Ravens were up 31-17 on the Browns with 10 minutes left, and they managed to blow the lead. The thing with Baltimore, it's easy to think of them as a legitimate contender. They look really, really good, but in all 3 of their losses this year, they've blown leads, including 2 double-digit leads. A lot of key injuries. No for Cincy, no T. Higgins, no Sam Hubbard. Trey Hendrickson limited with that hyperextended knee. With Baltimore, Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley. But what it comes down to me is this. Here's a crazy stat. The Bengals have lost 13 straight primetime games on the road. Crazy. I never would have thought that that was true, but it is. Baltimore on a short week. I think it's a one-score game, but I'm taking Baltimore with my number 4 pick. Number 3, the Seattle Seahawks at the LA Rams. Seahawks have quietly won 3 of their last 4 games. Rams have dropped 3 straight, but Matthew Stafford should be back at quarterback for LA. I think that's key. I don't know if Seattle is going to stop this LA offense. I know Seattle lost to the Rams at home week 1, little revenge factor. I think this is a very close game, but the Rams pull it out with a late field goal. All right, number 2, we've got the Super Bowl rematch. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of these teams coming off a bye. Andy Reid is 21-3 in his career after the bye, which leads you to taking Kansas City, but I'm not going to do that. I'm taking Philadelphia in the upset. Jalen Hurts has had an extra week for his knee to heal. I know teams have been struggling to score on Kansas City. They've given up the second fewest points per game. But the Eagles, the strength of the Kansas City defense is defending the pass. The Eagles have an excellent running game between not just Hurts, but DeAndre Swift as well, averaging 130 rushing yards per game. I also like Kenneth Gainwell in spots. So I think that's what's going to make the difference. I'm taking the Eagles to, I'm not going to say get revenge on the Chiefs, but to take a win in this game. And finally, my number 1 game, the game that I just don't have a lot of confidence in, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking the Steelers in another upset. So rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be playing quarterback for Cleveland in this game with Watson out. Here's the thing. I think Pittsburgh's starting to find a little of identity on offense. They've run the ball 55% of the time. And before that, they were running 39% of the time. They're figuring out what works. They don't want to have Kenny Pickett have to win the game. They want to give it to Harris, give it to Warren, and make it work that way. Now, the Browns are one of the best teams in the NFL at stopping the run. And if they stop the run on Sunday, yes, Pittsburgh will have a hard time moving the ball. I just don't trust DTR yet. And the thing is, the Steelers just have some mojo going on. They just keep winning games they should not win. They've been outgained in every game this season, and yet they've won 6 games. So give me the Steelers to keep it going. They take the win in Cleveland. Well, those are my picks. Hey, if you've got any picks that you'd like to put in the comments, put them right down there. I look forward to seeing them. Reminder to join me every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. for the Wednesday Night Live show. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.